Hello students, so welcome to class number 24 on CMA and financial management. So we are discussing on the standard costing topic and material variances. In last class, which is class number 23, we discussed about all the formulas underlying the material variances. So material cost variance, material price variance and material usage variance. So usage variance is classified into material mix variance and material yield variances. So putting all together is the material cost variances. We discussed on all the formulas and one example problem. Now we are going to see three different problems in this video. So all these three different problems are different from one example problem which we saw in the class number 23. So request you, if you are following me for standard costing, I know many students were asking for the standard costing. That's why I came out with the video, though I have a tight agenda in my personal life. So I came out with this video for standard costing. So watch out the series. Next to next video I will complete the standard costing. So in the last class we have discussed one problem, and in this class we are going to discuss about three problems, and all these three are different types. And if you are lucky to get the material costing or material variances in your examination, it should be one among these four types only. Okay, so one is already completed in class 23, so now we are going inside the class 24. Yes. So SV Limited, so this is the illustration 3 as per your book. SV Limited manufactures BXE by mixing three raw materials. So three raw materials are mixed. In our last problem we saw only two raw materials. For every batch of 100 kg of BXE, so BXE is the end product. For producing 100 kg, 125 kg of raw materials are used. Okay, so 125 kgs of raw material will give 100 kg of the required output. So which means 20% is lost. So 20% is like a standard loss. In April 2012, so that is the period in which we are discussing in this problem, 60 batches were produced to produce an output of 5600 kg of BXC. So in that period we have produced the output of 5600 kg. So that is the actual output. So we now came across the actual output, which is 5600 kg, and 60 batches were produced. Each batch it is already given 100 kg. So 60 batch means 60 into 100 kg, 6000 kg. So actually 6000 kg should be produced. Against that we have produced only 5600 kg. Okay, so remember guys, so we have produced the actual quantity. So AQ is actual quantity. So actual quantity, we have net output or yield as per question that is given as 5600 kg, but actually we should have produced 6000 kg. Okay, so that should be the standard. So whatever should be the standard, that is called revised standard quantity. Okay, what has to be produced, that is called revised standard quantity. Okay, but what is the standard quantity for the actual production, that is going to be the standard quantity. So what is the difference between standard quantity and revised standard quantity, we discussed in our previous class itself. Please watch it for more detailed description, but very simple definition is, for revised standard quantity, whatever should have been produced, okay, for the input that has been actually utilized, whatever should have been produced, and that is called revised standard quantity, which is 6000 should be the output, against which we have produced only 5600. Now for this 5600 output, whatever is the actual standard input that is required, that is called standard quantity. So for actual quantity and standard quantity, the net output will be same way. If you exclude the losses, actual quantity and revised standard quantity, the output will be same. Okay, for actual quantity and revised standard quantity, output will be same. For actual quantity and standard quantity, net output, the final output after losses, that will be same. Okay, so this is what we discussed in our last problem, also in our last class. This is little bit similar problem, but there are little bit complexity level is little high. we will go to the next details. The standard and actual particulars are given as under. So for the raw material A, B, C, which are mixed to produce the BXC, okay, so the details are the standard mix is given, price is given. So price as it is you can take. Here I have put actual price. So 21, 8 and 6 are the actual price. Standard price is given here 20, 10 and 5. So 20, 10 and 5 I have taken it here, standard price. Next comes the mix. So now we know 6,000 is the standard, revised standard. So and also we know 20% is the loss. So how we know the 20% is loss? Out of every batch 100 kg will come out if we put 125 kg of inputs. 125 kg of inputs will give you 100 kg of output, which means how much kg is lost? 20% of the kg is lost, right? So 20%, so 6,000 is the output, net output. So how much should be the loss? Okay, how much should be the loss? Okay, for example, the actual output should have been X minus 20% of X is equal to 6,000, which means 80% of X is equal to 6,000. So what will be the X? X is equal to 6,000 divided by 80%, which is nothing but 7,500. Okay, so 7,500 is the actual output, but loss 20%, which is 1,500. So 6,000 is calculated. So 6,000 we have already come across, because 60 batch into 100 kg, 6,000 is the net output, which come after 1,500 loss, and now we have found 7,500. Okay, 7,500 is the actual output. Now we will apply the mix. So mix is given, standard mix is 50%, 30%, 20%. Now you can apply the 50% and 30% and 20% on 7,500 to find the revised standard quantity of A, B and C. Now the revised standard quantity is completed. Now what is the definition? Revised standard quantity, whatever is the output, that same output will be the output of actual quantity also. So I have given this color coding like this. So blue color is given for 7,500, 7,500 will be same. The same way the net output after deducting the losses, that will be same for the actual quantity and standard quantity. So I have given a color coding yellow for that. So now I have fixed output is 7,500. Now the actual mix is also given 60%, 20%, 20%. So you can apply 60, 20, 20 to 7,500 and find the actual quantities of A, B and C. Now you have found the actual quantity, and we have found an actual yield or actual net output is only 5,600 kg, which means the loss is 1,900 kg. So 7,500 we have calculated, 5,600 it is given in the question itself. So 7,500 minus 5,600 is 1,900, which is the loss. Okay, now the 5,600 is taken. So this 5,600, so whatever is the now we can calculate the standard quantity. So how to calculate the standard quantity? This is the formula which we discussed even in our last class. Standard quantity is nothing but, so revised standard quantity. So standard quantity and revised standard quantity, they are proportional to each other. So 3,750 is the quantity of A for 6,000 output. Then for 5,600 output, what will be the quantity of A? Very simple formula, 3,750 divided by 6,000 multiplied by 5,600. I have given the formula here. Apply the formula, you can find the quantity of standard quantity of A. Similarly, standard quantity of B and standard quantity of C is calculated. So A plus B plus C you can total and get the output, and you can reduce the loss of 20% and you can find the net output becomes 5,600. Of course, the standard quantity, whatever is the output, that will match with the actual quantity, because actual quantity output only, they are proportionately what is the standard actually required for that. That is called standard quantity. Okay, so now we have found all the detail. We know the actual quantity, we know the standard quantity, we know the revised standard quantity. Also, it is given in the problem the actual price and the standard price. Now you can directly go and apply the formula and you can find it. So you know what is the material price variance? Price variance is a change in the price, which means standard price minus actual price, bracket, multiplied by the actual quantity. Next comes the material usage variance. So change in the usage. What is it? Standard quantity minus actual quantity, bracket, multiplied by the standard price. Next comes the material mix variance and material yield variance. So what is material mix variance? Material mix variance is revised standard quantity minus actual quantity bracket multiplied by standard price. So you can apply the formula directly, or you can apply this mathematics. You may go wrong here, but as discussed in our previous class, we have a check procedure in the standard costing. You cannot go wrong, because after calculating we can check the answers is correct or not. That's why I ask my students, never miss the standard costing problem, because you can check the answers. Whether you will get the mark or not, on the spot you can analyze. Okay, so how to do that, I'm discussing that once again here. Okay, so here if you see, material cost variance is the total material cost variance. Okay, and that material cost variance is equal to material price variance plus material usage variance. Here you can see material price variance is minus 3000. What does minus 3000 say? It is unfavorable. Okay, adverse, we can call it as adverse variance or unfavorable variance. Okay, that's why I have put negative sign. You can put 3000 and bracket, you can put A, which is adverse variance means it is negative variance, which is not good for us. And it is in positive means it is favorable variance. Or you can ignore the positive symbol and put the value, and in bracket you can put the favorable variance. So remember guys, please mention it is adverse or favorable. If you put negative, it will denote to the person who is evaluating your paper that you don't know what is actually happening. Okay, so do not put yourself in that shoes. So always, if the negative variances are coming, always standard minus actual will come in the formula, except material yield variance. In material yield variance, actual minus standard will come, actual yield minus standard yield will come. We have this alternate formula which we discussed in our last class also. So anybody who has difficulty in calculating material yield variance, there is one more simple formula I have given here: actual yield minus standard yield bracket standard output price. Okay, you can apply this formula also. Okay, so material cost variance is a total of material price variance and material usage variance. If this is tallied, your material cost variance is correct, your price variance is correct, your usage variance is correct. The next step is material mix variance plus material yield variance is equal to material usage variance. If this is correct, your material mix variance is also correct, material yield variance is also correct. So you can check your answers and you can go for the, with confidence you can come out of your examination hall. Okay guys, we have spent a lot of time in this problem. Let's move to the next problem. Okay, so this is yet more different problem. It has directly the standard quantity, actual quantities are not given. However, they have given the stock movements. Let's read the problem. A brass foundry. So brass is something which we use in our daily life. It is made up of two components, which is copper and zinc. Okay, and the standard prices, they use the standard costing system, basing the standards regards to material stock which are kept the standard price or as follows. So material stocks are kept in the standard price. So friends, this is the important clue. We should not mention, we should not miss out any of the clue that is given here. So here they have given material stocks are kept at standard price. Okay, so what is the stock? Whether it is opening stock or closing stock. So opening stock and closing stock, I have taken it here. So standard mixture, 70% copper and 30% zinc is the standard. So standard price of copper and zinc is given. Instead of mentioning A, B, C, here it is a more realistic. Copper and zinc are the components which will be mixed in the proportion to form the brass, which is given in the question. Okay, so standard loss, 5% is standard loss. Next, commencing stock, which is opening stock, is given. Finished stock is given. Purchases is also given. Metal melted is for 400 tons of metals is melted. Casting produced is 375 tons. Okay, so actual quantity that is produced is 375 tons. So friends, you should get involved in the question, and then only you will understand. So metal melted, so which means that is the actual input that is taken. How much has come out? 375. So that is the actual quantity after losses. Okay, so present the figures. Yes, we can present the figure. Now opening stock is given 100 of copper and 60 of zinc that is taken. So opening stock plus purchases, I have added it here, minus closing stock will give you the consumption. So we need to know the actual consumption, that is called actual quantity. So opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock is the actual quantity. So now we have found the actual quantity, but actual price we need to find. How to find the actual price? For finding the actual price, we should know that we should do the valuation of the stock. Opening stock, what is the value? So copper standard cost is 2400, zinc is 650. Here they have given all the stocks are valued at standard price. So copper I am taking 2400, zinc I am taking 650. Even for the closing stock I am using the same rate because they have given all stocks are valued at standard price. So closing stock also 2400 and 650. So opening stock is valued, closing stock is valued both for copper and zinc. Now what is the purchases? Purchases, it is already given, the value is 7,32,000 and 62,500. So 7,32,000 and 62,500. So even in the value we are going to do opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock will give you the value of the consumption or value of the actual quantity. Now value of actual quantity is there, actual quantity is also there. So actual price per unit we can easily found. So 7,08,500 divided by 290. 7,08,500 divided by 290. Actual price of copper can be found. Same way 69,000 divided by 110. So you can find the actual price of the zinc also. So now you have actual price, you have the actual quantity, you have the standard price, you have the standard proportion also. Let's go inside the problem. Okay, so now we are getting into the problem. So here if you see total okay, so 400. Okay, let me. Okay, so here we have already calculated 290 is the actual quantity of copper and 110 is the actual quantity of zinc. So putting together you are getting 400, and this is also tallying with the question where they have already said metal melted. So actual quantity that is taken to the process of making brass is 400. They have given in the question. So here it is tallied, which means all the other things are correct. Okay, your stock valuation and everything, stock calculation, everything is correct. So 400, 375 is produced. So 375 is produced. So 400 minus 375, loss is going to be 25. So this is calculated. Next step is revised standard quantity. So how to calculate revised standard quantity? Output will be same. So same 400 will be the output here. That's why I have given blue color, and they have given 70%, 30 percentage. Apply 70 percentage and 30 percentage on 400. You can find the quantity of copper and the zinc. Okay, and already you have the actual price and actual price we have calculated earlier. Standard price, it is already given in the question. Okay, so I think the table is almost done. So 5% is standard loss, that is already given in the question. So 5% of 400 is 20, so 380. So we have actually produced 375 by taking 400 quantities of input. But actually if you have taken 400, the actual output should have been, the standard should have been 380. So against 380 you have produced only 375. Now what we have to calculate, the standard quantity. What is standard quantity? For this 375 output itself, what should have been the input that should be taken? So 375 I have fixed it here. Now the 5% 375 I am taking it here, and now we have to tally this with 375. How to calculate the standard quantity of copper? We have already discussed, which is nothing but 280 is the standard quantity for 380. So 280 divided by 380 multiplied by 375. So you can find the standard quantity of copper. Same formula you apply. You can find the standard quantity of zinc. Total the quantity you will get 394.74. 375 is the output. And if you see, same 5% will be the loss, and 5% loss is deducted. Okay. So all the quantities are here. You know, last two problems we are discussing the same formula. Please apply the same formula and find the result. And one more time I am repeating, for standard costing we have the process to evaluate whether our answers are correct or not. So please attend the standard costing problem. Okay, so if you see material price variance plus material usage variance, 10,000 plus 27,000 is going to be 37,000. That should tally with material cost variance. Same way, material mix variance plus material yield variance should tally with material usage variance. That's why I have given yellow color. So this group yellow color has to tally with each other. Okay, so friends, I think you will be thorough with this problem. There is one more problem now we are going to discuss. It's a very unique problem. We will go to that problem. So this is this is the illustration number 5 as per your book. A company is manufacturing a special type of fencing. So that fencing size is 12" multiplied by 8" multiplied by half inch. So usually it is like length multiplied by breadth multiplied by height. Height is nothing but you can call it as thickness also. So thickness is half inch used in the system of standard costing. So standard mix of the compound used to make the tile. So there is a compound and that compounds are mixed to make the tile. Okay, so usually there is a standard quantity for that compound. So a compound is 1200 kg of material A, 500 kg of material B and 800 kg of material C, and they have also given the prices. So they have given standard mix, so which means these are all standard prices. So standard prices are given in the question, so I have taken the standard price as it is. 0.3, 0.6 and 0.7, 0.3, 0.6 and 0.7 I have taken the standard price. The compound should produce, the above compound should produce 12,000 square feet of tiles, 12,000 square feet of tiles of half-inch thickness. So half-inch thickness tiles we are making. So 12,000 tiles should be produced from this mixture what is given here during the period in which 1 lakh tiles of the standard size were produced. So now the actual quantity that is produced is like during the period in which 1 lakh tiles. Okay, so 1 lakh tiles of standard size were produced. The material usage for this producing this 1 lakh tiles, they have used 7,000, 3,000 and 5,000, putting together 15,000 kg of materials. Now you can see A, B, C. Here there is no standard loss that is given. There is no loss that given in the question. So A, B, C putting together it is 15,000 kg, and all this 15,000 kg were used to produce 1 lakh tiles of standard size. So there is no loss at all. So 15,000 kg, 7,000, 3,000, 5,000. So 7,000, 3,000, 5,000 is given in the it is given in the problem. Now what is the difference from the previous problem? In all the previous problems standard loss was there, but here in this problem standard loss was not there. If standard loss is not there, standard quantity, the yield of the standard quantity and actual quantity will not be same. However, as per the principle of standard costing, the output of the actual quantity and revised standard quantity will be same. That has to be same at any problem, any kind, because revised standard quantity is the output. For the output that is produced, what should be the what should be the standard quantities. Now it is given, now we have to calculate this. So it is given as 12" into 8" is the size of the tile of half-inch thickness. So what is the area? Area is length into breadth. Length into breadth is 12" into 8". So 12" into 8". If you multiply, this is in inch. How to convert the inch into feet? Because the details is given as 12,000 square feet. So this compound is making 12,000 square feet. So first we have to know how much square feet is one tile. Okay, so 12 is the length and multiplied by 8, both are in inch. So I am dividing by 12. So divided by 12 into divided by 12 for converting both this 12 and 8 into from inches into feet, and we calculate 0.67 square feet is one tile. So for 12,000 square feet, how much will be the tile? So 12,000 divided by 0.67, 18,000 tiles has to be produced to cover a 12,000 square feet of place. Next we are finding the calculation of standard mix. Now it is given for 1 lakh tiles. 1 lakh tile is the actual. For 1 lakh, how much? For 18,000 tiles, we know what is the standard: 1,200 kg, 500 kg, 800 kg. If these things are mixed and produced, tiles are produced, you will produce 18,000 tiles. Then for 1 lakh tiles, how much? So it is very easy to calculate. 1,200 divided by 18,000 multiplied by 1 lakh, you can find the standard quantity of A, B and C. So I am taking the standard quantities as it is here. So if you total it, it comes to 13,888. So it is different from 15,000, which means these values are not revised standard quantity. These are standard quantities. So revised standard quantity 15,000 is already given in the question. In all our previous problem, we will find revised standard quantity and then we will calculate standard quantity. But in this problem, we are finding the standard quantity and then calculating the revised standard quantity. This is the change. This is the change which is very different from other problems. So this is very important problem, students, from the exam point of view. So here if you total, these are the three standard quantities we have calculated for 1 lakh tiles. For 1 lakh tiles, actual quantity is already given in the question here. 7,000, 3,000, 5,000, we have taken it here. Standard quantity just now we have calculated, and if we total, it comes 13,888, and 13,888 is different from 15,000, which means these are all standard quantity. If it was 15,000, then it is revised standard quantity, because output will be same for actual quantity and revised standard quantity. Now it is different, and loss is also not there. Total yield as per standard is 13,888. Now we have to find the reverse formula, because standard quantity and revised standard quantity are always proportional. So 6,666 is the quantity of A required to produce 13,888 yield. Then for 15,000, what is the A required? So 6,666 multiplied divided by 13,888 multiplied by 15,000 will give you 7,200 is the quantity of A, B and C. Okay, so here the problem is standard quantity is given divided by net output of the standard quantity multiplied by the net quantity or yield of the revised standard quantity. So this is a very simple formula to find the revised standard quantity. In our all previous problem, we first found revised standard quantity and then we calculate standard quantity. But in this problem, we are going to find the standard quantity and then apply the formula to calculate the revised standard quantity. Now you know all the actual quantity, standard quantity, revised standard quantity. Actual price, it is given in the question, 0.32, 0.65 and 0.75. Standard price is also given in the question here. Okay. The next slide, I am applying the formula which you very well know. Apply the formula, because in last three problems I am keep on discussing this formula. By now you should be thorough with the formula. So apply the formula and you can find the variances. Again I am repeating one point. For standard costing, we can easily evaluate on the spot itself whether our answer is correct or not. So how to do that? Material cost variance is equal to material price variance plus material usage variance. If this tallies, your material price variance, cost variance and usage variance are correct. And then the second formula is material mix variance plus material yield variance is equal to material usage variance. That's why I have highlighted in yellow. So if this tallies each other, your material mix variance is also correct, material yield variance is also correct. So yes, friends, I think with this problem, your material variances are over. So meet you very soon in labor variances in our next class. So all the very best guys. Thank you.